Should students be subject to random drug tests? No. No, they shouldn't. I personally and passionately believe that this is the most ridiculous thing ever. It's a institutionalized invasion of privacy. And coincidentally, so does the government of Canada. If we look on the Charters of Rights and Freedoms under Legal Rights, Section 8, it says, and I quote, "Everyone has a right to be secure against unreasonable search or seizure." Let me break this down for you. If an average Joe is walking down the street, no person, institution, nor government has the right to stop them, then proceed to search him and take away their possessions, without reasonable cause, of course. This can also be applied to drug tests. If a student is at school, the school does not have the right, under the Constitution, under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, to then stop that person and search for drugs in their bloodstream. It's unethical and unconstitutional. Furthermore, I understand that if someone is under the influence of drugs, and that drug causes them to harm another person, then that should be stopped. However, most drugs, marijuana, LSD, shrooms, do not have this effect. They don't cause someone to go into a berserk rage and want to kill another person. Mostly just cause them to sit down and laze around. Of course, if a student is tripping balls in class, the teacher should put an end to that and probably send them to the principal's office. But it does not warrant random drug testing of the whole student body. Now that the ethical side of things has been addressed, let's move on to the practical side of things. Drugs like marijuana stay in your bloodstream for a ridiculous amount of time. Specifically, marijuana stays in your bloodstream 30 days after ingesting it. This means that after your 3-hour high with marijuana, you can still be tested positive for smoking marijuana in your bloodstream almost 30 days afterwards. So if you're off school grounds, or even outside of the school year, and you ingest marijuana, you can still be tested positive for having marijuana in your bloodstream at school. This is ridiculous. The school has no right to judge what happens in these kids' lives out of school. Furthermore, the testing for things like LSD, shrooms, and PCP is almost non-existent. Of course it exists, but it's really expensive, and no school has any sort of finances to fund that testing. So, again, like I said earlier, it's really just impractical. I guess that's my argument. Let me surmise. It's the most unethical thing I've ever heard of. The school has no right to judge what the student does outside of school grounds, and it's just wholly impractical. This sort of thing should not be allowed at all.